Hi guys, Steve here in Palm Springs, and this morning I want to share something with you that made me laugh. A couple of comments actually that made me laugh. And sorry if I still sound very congested. I have had the worst allergy attack, and I've hardly been able to get out of bed. It's been so bad, but not a cold. Even though it feels like it sometimes, it's just really, really bad allergies this time of the year. So even though I've been feeling really under the weather with my allergies, I've been trying to take the time to read as many of your comments as possible and respond to them. And as always, most comments are really nice, really sweet, really terrific and supportive, but you always get a couple that are just like completely off the wall. But these two made me laugh because I don't think I've ever in my life been called a creep, at least not to my face. So they got my attention, and what I thought especially was funny was that both of those comments came in the same week from different people on different videos. Now I can see if it was the same person who was just calling me a creep multiple times on different videos, but these were two different people. So I thought, well, what is creepy exactly? What is a creep? So I actually looked up the definition. So one of the definitions said a creep is a detestable person. So I'm thinking, well, I don't think too many people would think I'm detestable. A creep is also described as a sycophant, a groveler. Another website described a creepy person, as someone who's obnoxious and weird. Well, I am weird. I don't think most people would think I'm obnoxious. I think probably most people would think I'm weird, but I think I'm weird, so I guess one of the things that's considered creepy behavior, and maybe that's what they were referring to, is taking pictures of strangers. Now, I can see that being kind of creepy. I mean, if you do it in a creepy way, but I think what I'm doing, walking around vlogging, usually taking a walk and just filming whatever I happen to come across filming, I don't think that really would be anyone's definition of creepy. Stalking, lurking, slinking around, yeah, those are all kind of creepy things, and I think one of the comments, I'll have to see if I can find it and I'll show it to you and I'll read it to you. I think this person was really referring to my age, I think. Most of the negative comments do come from young people who don't like older people, I think. I'm just guessing, because some of them, they just don't make any sense. They're kind of off-the-wall comments. Unless you take into account ageism, and ageism is a real thing. A lot of younger people don't like older people, and I get that. A lot of older people don't like younger people. So, that's nothing new. It's been like that since the beginning of time and will always be that way. And different generations don't relate to each other. That makes sense. So I'm thinking maybe this younger person watched this video and is looking at me as this old geezer walking around town filming people and thinking that was creepy. And yeah, I guess if you look at it that way, it does seem kind of creepy if you think I'm like lurking around the corners and slinking around trying to sneak up on people and film people without their knowledge. But that's not what I do, and so obviously this person doesn't watch my videos. Well, I don't know. So let me see if I can find the comments and read them to you and see what you think. Tell me if you think it's creepy. And I'm not bothered by these. I'm not going to delete the comments. I think they're kind of funny, and I'm just sharing them with you because I did think it was kind of funny to be called creepy and a creep by two different people in the same week. So the first comment that I received calling me creepy came from Starboard6372 4 days ago. Starboard says, I've never laid eyes on your channel before and just clicked because it's in Palm Springs. But I have to tell you, a guy like you walking around, in quotes, filming is just creepy. So a guy like you, what could that possibly mean? I take it to mean he's probably a younger person thinking that, an old guy, an old geezer like me walking around supposedly filming is kind of creepy because he's projecting onto me that he's thinking that I'm just some old weirdo lurking around in the shadows filming people without them knowing it to do who knows what with what I happen to be filming, in quotes. I mean, that's my guess. I mean, I can't really think of any other thing he could mean. I mean, maybe there are other things that I'm just not thinking about. So let me know what you think. Maybe I'm totally wrong. So that was 4 days ago, and then let's see, 13 hours ago, I got another one. This is the more recent one from TW364, who says, and he left a long comment, or she left a long comment. I don't know who TW is, but you can see these are on two different. These comments are from two different videos. So TW says, once is a while, I'll check out these stories. I've come to the conclusion that you're a creep, a weird guy with an obsession on where people have died. Maybe it's a gay thing, who knows? But what a creep. With your obsession on where and how the big band crooner passed. I doubt he want as some sort of rock and roll sissy or like that freak of nature Liberace. Okay, I don't know what all that means. Now my guess is you're from money. In quotes, my grandfather lived up the hill, end quote, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Oh, by the way, you apparently keep on checking what your grandparents' house is worth. And that would mean that you didn't get any. By the way, a while back, you spun a tale about a fellow that was apparently interesting as a guest with his insight on Palm Springs history. Yeah, the guy apparently wasn't you to create the content for the piece. He would rather do it in a professional way, complete with his viewpoint and storytelling. That's a strange tale. In essence, the guy didn't want you to touch the content or the story. Interesting. Okay, so I don't know what any of that last part means or what he's getting at or referring to, but yeah, it sounds to me like this person actually has watched some of my videos for a while and finally came to the conclusion after a few videos that I'm obsessed with where people died. Well, that is true. I guess you'd call it an obsession. I have a channel called the Graveyard Channel, and it's all about where people are buried, usually where they died, how they died, and so I guess you could think of that as an obsession. And I know I'm not the only one that shares that obsession. There are millions of people all over the world who, if you want to call it, I don't call it an obsession, I call it history. I call it just interest in knowing where people died, how they died, and where they're buried. I find that very interesting. We're all going to get there at some point. And so when I first started my channel, I discovered that there were a lot of people besides myself that were also interested in those things. And so that's why the channel grew to be so large. This channel, I don't do it as much, and that's why this channel is so tiny, because people aren't as interested in my life. Maybe because I'm such a creep, I don't know. But, you know, it's just, both of these comments are so funny. I just wanted to share them with you and see if you agree with me that they are pretty funny. I don't take it personally. Obviously, these people are projecting something onto me and onto my videos that have really nothing to do with me, other than the fact that, yeah, I do like knowing where people have died and where they're buried. And then, you know, the comment about it sounds like this person's very jealous about who cares that my grandparents lived up the hill, and apparently he thinks I'm upset because I didn't get any money from the inheritance. And what I was referring to, and I actually said what I was referring to in the video, is that I wish my family had kept the house in the family, not to sell it and to make money, because it's obviously worth, you know, $1 million or maybe $2 million by now. And yeah, that's great to have a house that's worth that. But the point I was making is I always love it when families keep a house in the family forever. You don't sell your house, no matter what it's worth. You keep it and you pass it down to one generation after another generation, and you have that family history. And so maybe I wasn't clear about that, and that's what I was referring to because of my love of history. That's what this whole video was about, sharing the history of Ben Pollock, a famous celebrity who came to the desert and had his business and died here, and how I'd intersected with my own family history, and how I wish we had even more family history here. So that's what this video was about for me, but obviously this person took something totally different from the whole video. So, but you know, that's the beauty of these videos, is everyone who comes, and that's what I see in all the comments, is everyone gets something different from every video. You resonate with different things, and most people enjoy the videos and they can relate in one way or another, but then every now and then you will get people like TW and Starboard who don't relate. They just, you know, they're younger probably, and at least I assume they're younger because they don't relate. If you're older, you, I think, have an easier time relating to my videos since I'm old and I talk a lot about history. So anyway, just thought I would share that with you, give you a laugh, and also just share, some of the interesting behind the scenes comments and things that pop up. So I'm curious, have you ever been called a creep? And did you take it as a compliment or as an insult? Share with us in the comments. And also let me know if you think my walking around town filming people and filming things is creepy. So if you weren't too creeped out by this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't find subscribing too creepy, maybe you want to do that as well, if you haven't already done that. As always, thanks for sharing the memories, everybody, and I'll hope to see you all next time.